excited to share with you a new book that I got for our classroom library. It's called Juana and Lucas. And it says, this is me, that's Juana, and this is my furry amigo Lucas. It's by Juana Medina. So we're going to read the first chapter today, and as I'm reading, I want you to think about how does Juana introduce herself to the reader? And you're going to get a chance on Seesaw to introduce yourself to a reader. So think about how you might want to do that, and if you want to use some of Juana's ideas. Chapter 1. My name is Juana. It's spelled Juana, and it is pronounced Juana. Things I like are drawing, sometimes on paper, sometimes on other surfaces. Astroman. Astroman needs no rockets to fly in space. His intergalactic suit and shiny helmet cover all of him and let him glide from galaxy to galaxy faster than I can say Jupiter. He knows all the constellations from A to Z and can redirect a comet by simply blowing on it, as if it were a candle flame on a cupcake. No one else can do that. So there's Astroman, and there's Juana drawing. My favorite food of all foods, more than cheese and chocolate and ice cream, but not all together, is Brussels sprouts. In Bogota, Brussels sprouts are called repollitas. Here she is eating repollitas. Yum! The world has many cities, but Bogota is where I am, and where school is, and where Mommy and my abuelos and Lucas are, and where I play with Eric and Danielle, and where I get into trouble with Juli. Bogota, Colombia, in South America, is the city that's closest to my heart. There is Bogota. I love Bogota. Love it. And here's why. Bogota has more neighborhoods than I can count. There's a financial district, a flower district, galleries, houses, little coffee shops, bookstores. It just never stops. There are lots of parks in Bogota too. Does that sound like anywhere you know? The ciclovia is a never-ending route of bike lanes all across the city. I'm still learning how to ride a bike, so I haven't been able to go on every bit of bike lane across the city. It would take me ages to do it, but I like the idea of pedaling through town. There she is, imagining herself pedaling through town. During the day, the weather is mild, as if it is eternally springtime. Then the night comes, and the ground turns freezing cold, so everyone always keeps a pair of slippers by their bed. There are many trees, mostly old and almost as tall as buildings. In the daytime, they give shade from the incredibly strong sun. At night, when illuminated from below by the street lights, they make shadows of all shapes and sizes. In Bogota, Colombia, everyone speaks espanol. There might be a few who speak other languages, but to understand one another, we all mainly speak Spanish. Lucas doesn't speak Spanish, only because he doesn't speak at all. At bedtime, chances are you'll find me in bed with a book, or dos, or tres. Reading books is one of my most favorite things. Sometimes Mommy will come into my room and tell me to turn off the light ya mismo, just when the stories I'm reading are absolutely impossible to put down. Thank goodness my abuelo gave me a flashlight to use in case of emergency. Having to turn the lights off and stop reading inmediatamente is definitely an emergency. I grab the flashlight, pull the covers over my head, and go back to reading. There she is. Look who's with her. Even more than Astroman, even more than reading, drawing, Brussels sprouts, and Bogota all together, I love my furry amigo Lucas. He is the smartest, most amazing perro ever born. I can't think of a better friend than Lucas. He is my absolutely no single doubt about it, best amigo. Some say Lucas is neurotic. I do not think so. He's actually quite calm, especially while sleeping. I love Lucas. Love him. And here's why. Unlike others, Lucas listens to absolutely everything I have to say without interrupting, even when the stories get to be a little too long. He jumps really high, high enough to get cookies off the counter. Plus, he'll share them with me. No one is better than Lucas at playing spies. No matter where I hide, he always finds me. His vision and hearing are so good that when Mommy is making her way toward my room, Lucas gives me a little push with his snout, which gives me time to turn off the light. That always saves me from a talk or two about being awake past my bedtime. Even though cleats will never fit him and gloves are pointless, he's a phenomenal goalie. He's learned from watching football matches on TV. In America, most people call football soccer. He eats math homework like a pro. The harder the homework, the faster he'll eat it. Lucas always walks me to and from the bus stop on school days, which makes the walks a lot better than they could be. All right, let's zoom in on Lucas. So cute. I notice his tail's up. I can imagine that it's wagging and he's super happy. And that is the end of chapter 1. So go on to Seesaw, and I want you to think about what are the most important things to you that you would use to introduce yourself to a new reader of a book that you had written. All right, I can't wait for chapter 2. See you soon.